Good morning, everyone. I've been asked by Vicky Mussett if I would come on and just talk about my experience of home working and juggling children and work. Well, what's to say? It's been quite a roller coaster. I think we're in week 13 or 14 now. And I think in the early days, although I enjoy working from home, it took a little bit of adjusting, let's say, because I had two children who were 9 and 10 to manage and homeschool alongside my husband. Um, but together we've really had to try and adjust and work with things over the weeks that we've been working from home. Um, it's been interesting because some days have been easier than others, and some days I've felt like super mum. So I've had a productive day, and then I've been able to help them with homeschooling too. What I would say is that my experience of being at home has overall been a really good one, a positive one, but it's also had its challenges as well. And what I would say is that most days I'm feeling quite productive, quite positive, especially when the sun's shining like it is today. But some days I've found it a little bit tough. I've found a little bit, I found myself being a little bit less motivated than other days. Um, and sometimes the kids play up too because they're not seeing the friends, they're not having the normality that they normally have too. Um, and that's been quite tricky for them too to adjust. And I've got two very different children. So I've got two boys, Tom, who's 10, and James, who's 9. One of them is just gets on with it, really focused, is able to just apply himself, will get all of his work done, and not we don't hear anything from him, not hear a murmur, he just gets on and asks for help when he needs to. But the other one, the youngest one, is a bit of a tricky character, and he is constantly doing anything possible to get out of homeschooling. He finds it a little bit difficult at times, and this is just not his preferred method of learning. He likes being in a classroom, he needs to be kept on task, and that can be quite tricky, particularly when both my husband and I are trying to work from home. I have found the mute button on Teams very, very useful because I find that when children start raising voices or playing up, that I have to mute calls so that people can't hear the background noise, or even just them running up and down the stairs. Sounds like a herd of elephants running through the house. So yeah, it's just been interesting. They've often popped up on Teams calls. They have often said to me, Mum, why do you just talk to people all day? And I said, well, that's because I am working when I'm on a Teams call, but that's just Mum's job. And what I've found is that trying to balance all of that and juggle everything, and we've got my mum living with us too, so we are looking after Mum, and we've really had to adjust to live together, all under the same roof, and it's been lovely. But in the early days, it did take some adjustment, and you'll be able to hear the children in the background now because they're getting up and they're getting ready for homeschooling today. And it's going to be even more interesting because my husband's got to go out today into work, so I'm going to be doing work at 13 and some homeschooling as well. And I think what I've learned over the last kind of 14 or 15 weeks, however long it's been, is to be kind to myself. To be kind to myself and kind to others. So kind to myself first and understand that these are really unique times that we're living in, and that we're all just trying to do our best. Some days we wake up feel really motivated, some days we wake up and feel a bit tired or a little bit jaded or perhaps not feeling ourselves. So I've learnt to be kind to myself and understand that, if I can just say to myself at the end of the day, I've done the best that I can, trying to feed the children and feed our family and juggle work and homeschooling, then I can go to bed thinking I've done the best I can, and that's all we can ever do. And I think flexibility is important too. So sometimes when my youngest little boy needs me, I've had to just say to somebody, do you mind if I just give you a quick call back? Because I want to be there for the boys too. And then vice versa, sometimes I've had to say to the children, look, mum needs to work, mum is getting paid to work, and I do need to work, so I've tried to explain that to them too. So yeah, it's been tricky. Flexibility has been key, because some days I've been up working really early and I've logged on later in the day and had a break in the middle to try and help with homeschooling. And just to keep myself kind of mentally and physically well, I've been going out once a day for a walk with the family, and sometimes alone as well with the dog, which actually is here often curled up next to me when I'm on calls. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to share my experience with you all to say that overall I'm really enjoying working from home. It's great to keep in touch with colleagues and I feel like I'm really productive. That said, it doesn't go without its challenges, and trying to be a mum, homeschool and juggle everything else that everybody and every parent's got to do can be hard at times. So I suppose my top tips that I've learned about myself over the last kind of however many weeks is, be patient with yourself and others. It's a tricky situation. Be kind to yourself first and others, and try not to put yourself under too much pressure. You're not alone, we're all in this together. And I've really taken comfort with others who've also shared their experiences with me. So I just wanted to share mine with you. Have a great day.